So I was a late bloomer. I wrote a blog post about this called "I Got Lucky." I think that's what the title of it was. I was a late bloomer. I wasn't a slacker. I went to MIT and spent 2 years writing software, and I went to business school. And while I was in business school, I learned about the venture capital business, and I decided I would go get a job in the venture capital business. And I went and got a job in the venture capital business. So all of that actually is a pretty accomplished set of things that I did before I was 25. But when I got into the venture capital business, I didn't know what to invest in. I didn't have any theses about where the technology business was going. And I worked for a couple of guys, Milton and Bliss, who, you know, I owe a lot to. I like to describe them as the two older partners in the movie Trading Places. They didn't swap me out for, you know, somebody else or anything like that. But you know, that's kind of where they were in their careers, and that's kind of the generation they were.
So like old money, like just sitting back fat chairs.
No, well, you know, they were reasonably self-made guys, but they, you know, they were in their late 50s, early 60s, and I basically went through an apprenticeship type model, carrying, you know, effectively carrying their bags to board meetings and such, and I learned a lot from them. We didn't make a lot of money. We weren't a great venture capital firm, really. And then the internet came along about 8 years in, so about 33, and I guess I had just, you know, developed enough expertise in watching these guys and learning and such that when the internet came along, I was ready. And that's when I said, this is going to be big, this is my moment, and I got to do something. I quit their firm. That's how I paid them back for all that mentorship. And I started a venture capital firm with Jerry Colonna and called Flatiron Partners. And then, you know, we did a lot of things right, but we did a lot of things wrong. I kind of think of that as my first startup. And we made a lot of money, but we really made a lot of bad decisions. And I learned a lot from those decisions. I paid for a lot of those bad decisions. I learned a lot from those decisions. And then my second startup would be Union Square Ventures, and I think we got a lot right the second time. So, you know, I guess, you know, to kind of summarize it, did an apprenticeship, then I did my first startup, which was a mixed bag, and then, you know, I guess did it right the second time.